at practice. Everybody getting into the act.
Durant fires for three.
Got it! Got it! Here's Thompson for three.
Big shot by Steph Curry.
Free agent fever as DeMarcus Cousins has agreed, according to reports, to a one-year $5.3 million deal with the defending champion Golden State Warriors. They say the rich get richer. Well, a dynasty just got more dynastic as DeMarcus Cousins will join 4 All-Stars and All-NBA type guys. Joel Embiid hits to Twitter. He's hilarious on Twitter and says, well, the NBA is nuts and also the best league, LMAO. I happen to agree with that tweet by Joel Embiid. It is Rick Kamla, it is David Griffin, and Brendan Haywood, and we are bridging until we get it back to Sacramento for the second half of Warriors and Heat. Far more important in the big picture is Boogie going to the Warriors. I got to tell you, this guy right here, David Griffin, has just been cackling and laughing all night long as a front office guy in the NBA. And tell us why you're just sort of laughing and just sort of this unbelievable vibe about you right now.
So I think a big part of it is when we started the coverage of free agency, the one thing we talked about is because Kevin Durant went to the Warriors, if you're in Boston, if you're in Philadelphia, if you're in one of those war rooms, you almost can't dream big enough because literally anything can happen. So we've been talking about that all the way through leading up to today, thinking that we could have been pairing maybe the idea of LeBron and Kawhi. LeBron and Boogie Cousins.
Right.
LeBron, Kawhi, somebody else, right? Paul George all together somewhere. That this was the dream. This was the unrealistic goal. And now what happens, the irony of all of this is LeBron goes to L.A. He did Space Jam 2. He goes in L.A. largely because he wants to announce his presence in the movie-making business with authority. His production company, already enormous. And all the Warriors go ahead and do is put the Toon Stars, the Monstars together on one team, and the rest of the league is left to be the Nerdlucks. That's where we're at right now. That's the idiocy that is the NBA right now. And they're going to play 82 regular season games next year. And the odds are very, very good that what we think happens today does not happen at the end of it. And that's why Joel's tweet is so good. You just never know what's going to happen. This is the best league in the world, and this just adds to the intrigue.
So are you saying, because nobody would think, wow, they could go 82-0. It's just unfathomable. Is that the unthinkable? They're going to win every game next year?
No, they're not going to go 82-0.
Are they going to beat 73-9?
I don't know if they're going to. I don't know what they're going to do in the regular season because we don't know when Boogie's going to be available in the regular season. He might not be available until January, and that's fine. But all we do know is when the playoffs come along, and Boogie Cousins has his legs underneath him, having that monster they could unleash on teams down low is something totally different, another dynamic teams are not going to be ready for. What happens if Boogie Cousins gets to rolling down low one-on-one? What do? You can't guard him one-on-one most of the time. So are you going to double off of Clay, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry?
You see why I'm cackling? This is awesome.
All night, Chris.
Summer just started and we're already done. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I'm watching all my League Pass games.
Is Drake paying you for all of this, by the way? Is Drake giving you any love for all of the drops you're doing? You're one of the few people that got that I've been dropping Scorpion lines all night long.
I haven't listened to the album enough. I've heard it once, so it's not, in me yet.
Yeah, but it's one of those situations where you just look out there and it's like, wow, this is really, like when they talk about video game type of teams, this is what they're talking about. This team has everything. Like, if you play NBA 2K and you use the Golden State Warriors next year, you're officially a cheater. Like, that team is that good. Like, what are you going to do? Even on simple pick-and-roll situations, one thing that you used to be able to do is maybe switch it, force them to throw the ball into somebody like JaVale McGee or Looney, and maybe you could get by with that. How do you switch a screen and roll now? With Boogie Cousins rolling to the basket with your two-guard on his back where he's just going to go down there and score relentlessly as they pound the ball inside. Oh, and on top of that, the Golden State Warriors are the most unselfish team in the NBA. They're not about their numbers and their stats like other teams. They'll be willing to get this guy the ball and feature him if need be. They actually go out of their way to feature guys. They went out of their way to make Kevin Durant feel good. Steve Kerr had to go to Steph Curry and tell him, hey, that guy over there, he's pretty good. He can get it on his own. He doesn't need you to concede to him. That's what type of team they have. They lead the league in assists. They lead the league in assists for a reason, and now they get Boogie Cousins. Come on.
So Cousins popped his Achilles January 26th. Is it possible that we don't see him until around the All-Star break?
Yes. And this is why it's such a perfect fit, because they can wait. They're going to be maybe the best team in the league without him.
Yep.
And the reality is they can wait until he's 100% and then unleash that on the rest of the league. They will have had no time to watch. Think about this. If he comes out and plays his first game, let's say March 1st, that makes Boogie Cousins, for $5 million and all the tax money they're going to pay on that $5 million, basically like their buyout acquisition. And you're going to watch that team play for a month, month and a half. You're not going to have any time to prepare for what it looks like, and then you have to adjust to it. Now, I remember Joe Lacob made a comment once, and everybody bristled, called them light years ahead of the rest of the league. At this point, I think that might have been an understatement of what it was that they were cooking up at the time. It was foreshadowing, and we didn't know it. And now, in hindsight, I understand it. They had designs on things nobody had ever thought about doing in the NBA. And what they've done now is they said, what's our Achilles heel? What's the one way people think they can beat us? And this is it. They said, we'll take that too. Checkmate.